Yeah. It's all your fault. You see me? It's all your fault. You and your listeners. It's all your fault. I'm sick of this. You've all treated me too nicely. I want to be treated rotten. Do you get it?
Wow.
That's it. That's it.
Yikes.
Questions? Any questions here? Because I can see me.
Yikes. Wow. Sorry for your unfortunate line of vitriol there, Mr. Cena.
Well, what's your language? What do you want to know?
Oh wow.
I don't have to talk to any of you, do I?
Why'd you do it? Why'd you beat up Cody?
Why did I do what? You did it. I didn't do it. You did it, and all the fans did it. I did nothing.
Whoa. Wow. Well,
get out of here.
I don't know. Get out of here, John. Get out of here, John.
I invited you as a guest, and you did that? That's unbelievable. Get out of here. Don't ever. So my apologies. I invited him down here in good faith to get an interview because sometimes we have guests on, as you know. Yeah. And I can't believe he did that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. It's very, 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 very unfortunate.
What did you think of his screaming and yelling on Monday Night Raw?
Like I said yesterday, it's unfortunate because John Cena as a promo guy is so good. I mean, he's a pro, man. He's a really, really good promo guy.
He's a promo
guy.
Okay.
Yeah. But the substance of it didn't make any sense to me, honestly.
Because he was blaming the fans?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't make any sense to me at all. I mean, like he came back. He was he was just about completely celebrated, completely cheered by the fans since he's been back. It wasn't even I don't like the fans because the fans were booing me when I came back. The fans were completely cheering him. They were chanting his name in Elimination Chamber. He won the Elimination Chamber. He has a one-way ticket to WrestleMania. but his promo was the fans didn't like him. It didn't make any sense to me, man.
I think he started off his career as a heel, actually, and
When he was in with
it was Rick Bassman when he was the Prototype.
the
or
prototype.
Ohio Valley.
OVW, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, but my point here is that our own Teddy Long has said on many occasions on Time Machine that this is the real John Cena, that in real life he's a heel. He's a real life heel. He said he's not a nice guy. I have not seen that part of John Cena through the years that I've known him. I know his father and I have had a little bit of aggravation with each other, but in the meantime, what surprised me was when Cody Rhodes came in looking so very dapper.
Yes,
so very dapper, and when he confronted John Cena. By the time Cody got out of the ring, it was nice to see that, that I thought there was going to be rage, that he was going to run in and kill John Cena there, but there was no rage. He was a gentleman. But by the time he left the ring, it kind of looked to me like John Cena was having second thoughts.
So I think at the end of the day, Cody coming in as a gentleman was a weird concept as well.
Okay.
Because who would come in as a gentleman? And last time, like, think about this: the last time you saw someone, the last time you saw someone, they beat you up.
Yep.
They put you to a bloody pulp. They basically the gang attacked you with the mob. And what happened was the next time you saw him, you cut a promo in front of him. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
It's a new generation.
The new generation is
it's the new way. I think the new president has put down a law about that you have to cut a promo on someone who beats you up. Can you imagine that in a street fight?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're in Philly. You're in Philly, Bill. Like, you know how this is. Like, basically someone got just beat to a pulp by three people. He sees one of them the next time. He says, "Well, let me tell you something." Like,
let me tell you something, brother.
He just cuts a promo on him. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
It was strange. It was
unbelievable.
The rage that Cody had on the interview there was very good, but just to toss the mic at Cena and Cena stand there.
Yes,
I mean, there's been a million pull aparts recently.
Yes,
I was hoping this wasn't going to be a pull apart.
Yes,
but it ended kind of strange.
I wouldn't have minded if it was a pull apart, just because I think that if there's any pull aparts, this should be the pull apart. That should be the president. That should set the precedence, and that should be number one.
No, the pull aparts are reserved for the LWO.
See, that's the thing. It should be the LWO pull apart should be extinguished very, very quickly. This should be the one pull apart that actually should have been one, and they didn't make it a pull apart, and it just would have made perfect sense. I posed a theory yesterday of you have to thread the show with this, and you have to get to the point where you are having Cody ready to rock and roll, ready to absolutely attack John Cena coming to the arena. And so what you do is you have Cody having a bat, and you show him throughout the show with his bat. Just continue to clutch his bat.
Where is he? Where
is he? And so basically he pulls up. John Cena doesn't know that Cody is pulling up. You have, and that gets heat on John Cena because
they both knew they were both going to be in the arena that night.
Yeah, but he didn't know when he's going to pull up. Though.
Exactly.
So the thing is, you wait throughout the entire show. You have John, especially if you're going to have the same two people in Glasgow, Scotland next week.
Yep.
What you do is you have Cena pull up at the last minute, at the last segment or last couple segments left. You finally have him pull up, and you have Cody out there basically taking a bat to the truck,
ready to kill him.
Boom! Absolutely, and
that home run.
And that gives the retribution in a sense to Cody, because Cody is willing to like take a bat at him.
And but he didn't come across like that. Unfortunately, he was the gentleman.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that a gentleman.
No, the way he was dressed, his whole thing, he was angry, but he did it in a gentlemanly way.
Yeah, you be angry in Philly, dressed up as a gentleman in the Philly streets. You would be looked as a softy if you came dressed up and said, "Oh yeah, I know you beat me up, but let's talk it over." You know what I mean?
Right. Only on TV. By the way, you said you had a theory.
I had a theory.
So what was up with that? With 15 seconds of Austin Theory getting pinned on Monday Night Raw. What did he do? He was the hot commodity.
Yeah. 2 years ago, he beat Cena at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I know, but on TV, just I want to know what happened there. He's a company man. I'm sure he agreed to it. But people said, well, the show was going long and all that, but you don't take somebody like if they did that with Grayson Waller, I wouldn't have felt the same way.
True. Yeah, because they never really pushed him as a singles guy. What they did instead was they did make. I mean, there was a couple of times where they made Austin Theory. They attempted to push him. It seems like that was more of a Vince McMahon guy.
Yeah.
Vince liked the body, Vince liked the physique. There was even a time where he was in Vince's office and things like that. And so you could tell he was a Vince guy. And since Vince left, the office doesn't really see high in Austin Theory nowadays. Although I think that Austin Theory should take a run at becoming a babyface, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do too. I thought that was going to happen a while ago, to be honest with you.
They've been teasing the split for a while, but they've never followed through with it. So
we're talking about splits here. Our office and the entire internet world have been buzzing about Mickie James not being renewed in season 2 of the LFG show, and Mrs. McCool, Mrs. Undertaker, will be taking her place on there. And people are coming up with all these theories again that, oh my God, it's the Undertaker's wife. Of course.
You sound like Paul Bearer. Oh my God, it's the Undertaker's wife.
No, that's the voice we used in the magazine days when we go like, oh, did you know Tushi Kamada's real name is Oshinamaka? It would be the fanboys.
That's what you would say.
So, right. Nice. They must. It's because it's the Undertaker wanted Mickie James fired. It's all this crap on the internet that's going on there. And basically, I know for a fact Mickie James has other things to do as well as that show. They are, of course, putting Undertaker's wife in the Hall of Fame. So why not give her, some spotlight here? And they probably will change that panel periodically, and they're just starting with her. I don't think it's any pressure from the Undertaker just saying, hey, put her in and get rid of her. What have you heard? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it's that deep as far as, I mean, the fans, they tend to over embellish things all the time and create all types of theories that that come with it and that are unsubstantiated. But I do, Mickie James has been forward and she's been open about past treatment from WWE, so I don't think that she would be on the hush this time if WWE, blacklisted her or mistreated her anyway or made her feel lesser than. I think that she would have been. I mean, she would be open now, just like she was open before. So, I think if there was something shady, we probably hear from Mickey James.
Yeah,
And
but she
so,
mentioned that she has some stuff going on in the future with WWE. She'll probably be on some of the other shows, a talking
yeah,
head on some of the bios. Some,
yeah, and I think she should. I think she should be in the
yeah.
Hall of Fame,
Oh
without a
yes.
question. Yeah, I think, yeah, man. I think Mickey. I think if you want a female coach, man, Mickey James is just the way to go. I mean, I just think that she was a great idea for a female coach. I mean, if
Absolutely.
Mickey James has to leave and pursue other things, I would say second in command for me would have been Natalia. I think Natalia definitely should have been
And
the
you
coach.
know what? Now that you said that, I haven't thought of it, but you're absolutely right. And she's branching out from what I have seen. She's going into possibly shoot fighting, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
She's going to be a part of. I think the Josh Burnett's thing. I know
yes,
that Barnett
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport. Yeah, and she's going to be in NWA too. So
Yes,
yeah,
I heard that too. Do
yeah.
you think with her going to NWA that might be the next, even though they're not big, that might be the next WWE TNA type of relationship, bringing in, Billy
I mean,
Corgan might be a good fit for the entertainment part of that company. I don't know.
talk about the forbidden door, man. I mean, WWE's been been doing that, and that was unheard of during the Vince McMahon era. And but you know this, Bill. I mean, the territories would do that all the time.
Yeah,
So that,
yeah,
that's nothing new. When it came, NWA was an organization. It was an alliance. I mean, that's the
sure
A in
was. Yeah,
NWA. It was an alliance, and so you would have territories come together. You would typically have one world champion going to different loops and
under
different
their umbrella.
territories.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
so that was nothing different, nothing new, nothing odd in the 70s and 80s. And so, yeah, I think now it's just, going back to that old school mentality of just looping wrestlers around territories. Of course, bigger, bigger signs and bigger displays of territories. But I think Triple H, man, he has that old school mentality anyways.
Yep, yep.
You know what I mean? So Natalia being used to go to different, organizations, man, that's just the old school mentality. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fine
But
with it.
I mean, is she still? I don't know the answer to this. Is she still under contract as a WWE player, even though she's doing some of these other gigs?
I think it would be. I think if anybody's release would have been publicized, it would have been Natalia's. I mean, there's releases releases are made public all the time and
Yeah.
reported. So, I definitely think Natalia would have been one of them. Yeah, I think it's cool for Natalia, man. I think she needs to get more exposure. I mean, unfortunately, Natalia, she's got that good little hand, complex.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's been minted a good little hand, someone who's going to make someone look good. I call her like the female Dolph Ziggler. When Dolph Ziggler was there, he was the good little hand. So good in the ring, he would just make
Yep.
everybody look good. And Natalia is the same way on the female side. And unfortunately, it's like a kiss of death in many ways, because you really don't get that opportunity to be showcased the way you should. But you're so good, you can have a main event feud that can put you in the opener, they can put you in the middle,
Sure.
and
Sure. That's her.
oftentimes you're the one on the losing end. And I just hope that Natalia has an opportunity to get wins underneath her belt, especially if they're going to put her in Hall of Fame, which they should. Help her out with making her look better going into the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Have you noticed, by the way, now when they're talking about the broadcasters are talking about the Hall of Fame, it was good to see Corey Graves back in the
Mhm.
back in a main seat on Monday Night Raw. But have you noticed they're talking about Triple H, of course, going into the Hall of Fame? They are talking about Mrs. Undertaker going into the Hall of Fame, and then many others. And, we broke the story of Earthquake and Typhoon going in, but they haven't really shown anything.
Yeah, they haven't
First
made
of all,
that yet, at least.
yeah, so I'm wondering, since we know that Typhoon and Earthquake are going in there, who is the right person to induct that tag team into the Hall of Fame?
Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Jimmy Hart was their manager. So.
Yeah. What about Mrs. Undertaker? I don't think her husband should induct her into the Hall.
I would say Layla.
Okay. Okay.
Because they were women's champions, right? They had half of the belt, and they were co-woman. Lay Cool, so they had their tag team back in the day. So yeah, I think Layla would be the most sense to induct in the Hall of Fame. So
what about Lex Luger?
See, that's a tough one because, of course, I would say Sting. Nikita's still around. Barry Windham's still around. There's a lot of options when it comes to Luger, man.
Well, Nikita's never been in a WWE situation, which always surprised me.
Yeah, but you typically don't have to be in a WWE situation to induct someone. Though.
No, I'm just saying in general. I wish they would have.
Oh, he should be in the Hall of Fame, hands down. I interviewed him before, and he said that he doesn't want to get in the Hall of Fame before Uncle Ivan does.
Yep. Now, I have an interview with Uncle Ivan about 6 months before he died, practically pleading with the WWE to put him in the Hall of Fame, that he never meant anything bad with whatever was going on, which was that concussion lawsuit.
Yeah.
But I am hoping with the announcement of many others that he might be one of the many others.
I sure hope so, man. I really do. I mean, it's long overdue that Uncle Ivan should be in the Hall of Fame. I was just having a conversation recently in one of our shows, one of another Sportskeeda show that I'm on. Ken Patera is not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that's a shocker to me too. Yeah, so there's a few people that's just like, huh? They're not in the Hall of Fame yet, and definitely Ivan Koloff is one of them. I think Nikita should be in the Hall of Fame too, for sure. So any other people that you think should be in the Hall of Fame?
Well, Miss Elizabeth.
I agree.
Actually, when I talked to Luger 8 years ago or so, I was doing a YouTube interview with him, and I said, is there anyone other than you who is not in the WWE Hall of Fame who belongs in there? And the first person on his mind that came out was Miss Elizabeth.
Agreed.
Yeah.
How about this? Anybody who's active that's not in the WWE who should be in the Hall of Fame? Who's
who is currently active?
Yeah.
Well, they generally try not to do that. They did that with Rey Mysterio.
No, he was active when he headlined.
Yeah, you said someone who is active, right?
No, I'm saying who's not in the WWE.
Oh, somebody who's out there beside Ken Patera, someone who's still alive.
Yeah, but who's active though? I think Christian Cage should be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it'll never happen while he's under contract to AEW. Which is why I don't think Sting would be inducting Lex Luger, because he's still AEW as well.
When DX was inducted, Billy Gunn came from AEW.
I think that was. I don't remember that. I
because Triple H started during their speech when they were talking. It was either it was Hall of Fame. It's because Triple H kind of did a low jab and I heard that it really upset Billy.
What makes you think that Christian Cage should be in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Because he has achievements that's very similar to Edge. As far as, I
Hmm.
mean, like, he was neck and neck with Edge. They decided to make Edge a consistent main eventer and give him many title reigns. But Christian Cage is a former, world champion, multi-time intercontinental champion,
Yeah, I am in
multi-time
agreement.
tag team champion. Edge and Christian, one of the best, tag teams during that late 90s, early 2000s era. I mean, he's solid, man. I think he's great. I
Well,
think William Regal should be in the Hall of Fame too, although he's
oh, absolutely, no question about that. But I was going to say, when we're talking about WWE just opened the door back to Demolition.
Yep.
And since they're doing Earthquake and Typhoon, I think it would be great if they also did Demolition on the same year. I really do.
That would be interesting. They usually never do two tag teams in the same year, though.
Yeah.
They
But
usually
again,
do,
never say never.
they usually do one tag team. They used to do a main eventer, and like a pretty solid, consistent mid carder, like a Kurt Hennig
Mhm.
type of person. They usually do a minority, a female, a tag team, and a posthumous inductee. That's usually their
Yeah.
format when it comes to that.
Who
So,
will be posthumous? Well, I'm hoping it's Ivan Koloff.
uh, well, Earthquake. Well, I guess he's posthumous,
Well,
but
he's going in with Typhoon.
yeah. So I guess they're posthumous. I mean, I think Ivan Koloff should be the posthumous, honestly.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
So do I. But when you talk about not just being a great worker and someone everyone believed was a Russian enemy of ours,
Absolutely.
but what a sweet person. I
Mm.
mean, and I could just imagine his lovely wife Renee accepting this for him,
Wow, that's
and
wonderful.
there'll be tears all over the place.
I got one more question for you, Bill Apter. One of the
Yes.
things I mentioned on the Raw review was, and I'm interested in your take on this. Why didn't John Cena mention The Rock on that long 15-minute promo? Why didn't he even, like, after the first time you see John Cena after one of the biggest heel turns ever and going on the dark side after The Rock is proposing Cody to sell his soul, and somehow it was in cahoots that Cena and Rock were together. I mean, this whole time he does the gimmick and Cena turns heel. He goes out, he collabs himself with The Rock. He has multiple moments where he's standing toe to toe, standing side by side with The Rock. He goes outside of the ring. He's looking at his work. He's looking at his dirty work that he did with The Rock and Travis Scott. After all of that, you don't tie the loose ends when it comes to people wondering
have
why
asked me
you
that.
align with The Rock.
The only thing that I can think of regarding that, and I thought it should have taken place when he and Cody were face to face, but Cena was more interested in just blaming the crowd for 25 minutes as much as he could. I don't think The Rock ever got into his head. I think he pointed to people in the audience. You. I think he was just PO'd about the people. And that the next chapter, as we're getting closer to WrestleMania, I think The Rock will be involved in the conversation.
So why is he PO'd about the people though?
He said he gave everything to them and they never gave anything to him.
How is that true?
From the beginning. Well, from the beginning, well, half the crowd was, let's go Cena. Cena sucks. Let's go. So it's the Cena sucks people that have made him finally realize that there's a portion of the people that don't like him.
So why don't he cut a promo? Why don't he cut a promo to them instead of the other?
He thinks it's everybody now. He thinks it's everybody now.
Well, there was a bunch of people who said, "Let's go Cena," though.
Yeah, but I think they were just doing it in habit.
What do you mean?
It's a cool cadence. Let's go Cena. Cena sucks.
So,
Let's go Cena.
so he's thinking in his head like these people are just doing it in habit. They don't really like
it.
all these people who's chanting "Let's go Cena." They're doing it in habit, and that's weird too because even though everybody liked John Cena coming back,
Well, they used to.
there was
I'm going to tell you the
there
hardest
was no
part.
Cena sucks chance when he came back.
I'm going to tell you the hardest part of this. Someone's 7-year-old son or daughter. Daddy.
Mm.
You can say, son or daughter, it's like a movie. It's not real. He's really a nice guy. He still loves everybody. But the writers want him to be a bad guy right now, but they'll forgive him and he'll turn good again. That 6 or 7-year-old kid is going to go in bed and still cry because what daddy or mommy is saying to him, to a 6 or 7-year-old kid, that doesn't make any sense.
You know what, Bill? I love it. That's the heart and soul of professional wrestling.
Yeah, it's the kids.
That's what makes bad guys bad guys. If you
yeah.
generate that emotion, it makes it wonderful. It makes it
also
awesome.
People with special needs do not get this at all. I work in that community, and there are a lot of my clients who just took this as real. Period. The end.
And that's the heart and soul of pro wrestling. It's to make it feel real. I mean, why wouldn't you make it feel real? And
according to Teddy Long, this is real.
Well, I'm saying, like, if you're making it feel real as far as his character is concerned, that means that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, but
I mentioned about it being like Cena being really like this. That's interesting because
Teddy Long has said that he won't tell me what it is, but he said in real life that's what the guy is really like.
That's interesting because I know some people who are very close to John Cena who thinks that. Well, they appreciate his work ethic and they've formed friendships with him. But hey, he may be somebody that could be difficult to work with or difficult to really understand to some people. I mean, I am, you are, other people are. Some people like you, some people don't.
John Cena Sr., same thing.
Yeah, that's Cena Sr., man. He went heel on you too. All right. Bill Apter, let the listeners know where to find you, my brother.
You can get me on Twitter X at After1Wrestling, and I understand we're on a brand new channel right now. So tell your friends, tell your enemies, and make sure you click and subscribe.
Yes.
And do we have any super chats, by the way, before we leave?
We do not.
We didn't ask for them tonight. My apologies.
Oh, it's all right. We don't have to ask. People know when it comes. I mean, it's the common formula. If you want it on the screen every single week, go ahead and put that super chat. So this guy right here is Bill Apter. I'm Dr. Chris. And this is UnSKripted. Yes, indeed.
I love the compelling talk that we do all the time.
As always, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we'll see you at the matches.
So long.